Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're drawing hair together. This was a highly requested video and I finally made it. I'm gonna show you how I draw different types of hair: straight, wavy, curly and coily. Also, if you're interested in learning more, be sure to check out my course on creating cartoony stickers of yourself, where I show you my full process of creating fun and cute cartoony characters. Let's get started. I've already prepared a face that I'm gonna use to draw these different hairstyles on. Feel free to draw your own and practice with me. And I've also collected reference photos for different types of hair. So we have, as I've said, we have straight, wavy, curly and coily hair. And let's start with the straight hair. So the first step is to analyze the reference photo. I try to identify the shapes, the main shapes of which the hair is composed, and you can see here that we have these two layers of shapes. So I just draw on top of the reference and that helps me identify like the overall shape of the hair, and it makes it less overwhelming. Now I will just try to recreate this shape on my own example. And then I can start adding more details on a new layer with a more precise brush. You can download the brush in the description. This is a free sketching brush that I created for you. So now on this layer, I will try to make the shapes more interesting. I look at the reference photo and identify different small details that can help me make this hair look less flat. So I try to make at least some curves and not draw only straight lines. Once I'm happy with the overall shape, I add only a few hair strands inside. You don't need to draw every single hair strand, of course. Just to simplify it, you can draw only a few lines and it will look great. And then I also add some loose hair strands. Then I move on to the other side. Again, I try to add some sort of curvy lines to make it more interesting and more curvy than in the reference photo, to exaggerate it a little bit, because in the illustration we want to make things more interesting than in real life. So I try to add more variation to the lines and hair strands that I draw. And in the same way I add some loose hair strands. I also make sure to flip my canvas horizontally to check any mistakes I made and to fix things with a liquify tool. And we are done with the straight hair. Now let's move on to the wavy hair. In the same way, I first analyze the reference and identify the overall shape of the hair. It always helps with the next stage. Drawing this simple hair shape doesn't seem so intimidating and it's an easy starting point. Then I try to analyze the strands inside. I just draw inside the reference to understand the main waves that the hair has. It will help me in my own drawing. As before, I draw this simple shape and then I add a few little details to help me in the next stage. So I draw a few waves here and there and identify her fringe. I just want to understand the movement of the hair first. Then on a new layer, I will start to refine everything. And I look at the reference for the main hair strands, but I'm not gonna draw all of them, of course. So with the wavy hair, we create this uneven wavy edge. Unlike the straight hair, you don't need to create a defined edge where the hair ends. You can just draw these flowy, wavy lines. And then I try to make sense of the ends. And I also add this loose hair strands to add some movement. Let's draw the other side. Here we have a lot of loose hair strands, and I try to add some of them to my sketch. Then I add some waves inside my hair shape and then loose hair outside. Again, just a few lines will do. And if you just show the main movement of the hair, it will be clear enough and you don't have to really focus on each hair strand. And here's our wavy hair. Let's move on to the curly hair. Again, I identify the main shape. I just try to make sense of these hair strands and I draw over some of them to understand their movement and how they differ from the wavy hair. So we will have some kind of hair strands like this, mostly. Then I started to make a rough sketch, as always. And then I will start to add a few hair strands to understand the movement to help me in my next stage. This is enough information for me, and then I will start to make a clean sketch. I start with the edges. So I always draw basically the same shapes, but they are in different directions. So now I'm following the directions from the reference photo because her hair is up and I'm trying to recreate that. I always add the loose hair strand and then I add a few waves inside. I also add volume to these waves by adding a parallel wave to them that will give them more volume. And we're done with the curly hair. Let's move on to the last example of the coily hair. Again, I identify the overall shape, and then I will try to understand how this hair works. So it's similar to the curly hair, but it's much more curly, so to say. So we have this kind of spring shapes. So these are the shapes that the hair is made of, as I understood from the reference, and I'm gonna try to recreate those. So I just have this overall shape, and I will start right away with the clean sketch. I will look at my reference photo and add those hair strands wherever I see them. They will flow in different directions, and I want to show that in my sketch. So just pay attention to your reference photo and see where these hair strands are facing. I sketched all the edges, and now I'm going to add some of these hair strands outside and inside the shape. You can add as few or as many as you want. It depends on the look you're going for. And we are done with the coily hair as well. Here are all the hair types that we've drawn. And that's it, guys. I hope this tutorial has been helpful for you, and if you'd like me to make part 2 where I show you how to draw different hairstyles, please leave a comment down below. If there is enough interest, I'd love to make a second part for you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future tutorials. Your support means a lot to me and it helps me keep creating content for you. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.